a viable thing. It's not helping you as a consumer, a buyer or a seller. It doesn't do that, because what you're doing is you're limiting, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you swing it, you're limiting the exposure of that house to a select few instead of the entire market. So how in good conscience can anyone, from a broker to a huge conglomerate, the biggest corporate real estate business in the world, to a standard agent, tell anybody in good conscience that doing coming soon is good for you? It doesn't. As a matter of fact, glad we're opening this up, Washington State is providing a bill, putting a bill into legislature saying it could prevent pocket listings because it doesn't help the consumer at all. And I know you listen to me so intently about all these things that are coming, all this news, and how Compass is getting sued by Zillow, and Zillow is suing Compass, and everybody's suing everybody. And it's a big, huge, I worked for Compass for a long time, and I did not like the idea of coming soon. I thought I did, thought maybe, oh, this is something that's really worthwhile. And then when I took a closer look, sure, it helps the stakeholders and stockholders and the president or CEO of Compass make more money because they get to double end their thing, their each listing. I get that. But how does that help the seller? It doesn't help the seller at all. Let's go into this real quick. How we got here. Some large brokerages, most notably Compass, have leaned in pre-marketing and private exclusives. Industry leaders and state lawmakers increasingly raise concerns about the divisive strategy. You can take it either way. And I'm not here to judge because I am not a lawyer or a judge, but I think it's a good approach to at least examine the legality, not just the legality, but the ethical value. Because in fact, you're entrusting a realtor, somebody that's a real estate agent, to help broker the sale of your property. And we have a fiduciary duty to you as a seller to make sure you get the best price possible, as well as all the variables, all the terms and conditions. That's our job. That's what you hire us for. And in fact, does Compass do that? Not just Compass. There's other companies that do this too. Even our own MLS has coming soon, which I think is a crock of crap. I don't think we should be doing that. When I explain the logic behind it, they understand, hey, Vito has thought this through, and he doesn't really care about his commission. He cares about making sure that we get the best exposure possible, which is homes.com. We care, and I pay extra, I pay dearly for that. I'm not going to sit here and kowtow what my value is. I'm going to tell you that Illinois and Wisconsin and Hawaii have all turning into the idea of getting rid of coming soon. Why? Because it doesn't help you as a consumer. And that's why I don't use realtor on my badge. I don't like it because realtor is owned by NAR, and I don't believe that NAR, National Association of Realtors, does a good job providing value to not only us as real estate agents, but you as a consumer. And I don't see how that is being done. And if they do that, I'd like to see it. And I will be milk. I would call myself wrong, but for 23 years that I've been selling real estate, I haven't seen any value come from NAR to the, so that's where I'm leaving that. Okay. Speaking of value, if you have an elder parent that needs to be put into a care facility, an active adult community, what have you, a memory care, we have a long list of ways of helping you to do that. And that also helps maybe selling their house now, or waiting until they pass away, or what have you. There's a lot of strategies that go into it. And I want to make sure that you're aware of every strategy that I know of. I want to make sure you understand and you're educated before you make decisions. Okay. All right. Call me. We'll get that done. So yesterday I told you that we have our house on market. It's only been on market a few days. I've had 108 display ads viewed. I've had 128 people take a look at this listing. I've had the impressions, this ad being put out there just for a few days, right? I'm going to go back and I'll show you a couple of my other ones here. Top search results, 791 people. Matterport views. I understand it's just an added value to you, right? Floor plan views. The floor plan view is huge because it allows people to understand what they're walking into before they actually go into it. They get to see the flow and the run of it. And then look, there's analytics, and this is given to you so you can look at this daily, weekly, however often you want to, so you can have access to it. And then it also gives you a heat map of how many people are actually looking at it and from where. Yeah. So there you go. This is live, real time. We'll do this one right here. Well, no, this one right here, because this one's a little bit newer. Regency Place. They've had 42,000 views. They've had floor plan views, Matterport views, shares, leads, top of search results, 2,100 ads viewed, meaning that they've clicked on it. Yep. Awesome, right? And here's your little graph of the days that it gets pushed out there and how many people look at it, different spotlights. These are internal homes.com pages that put that ad into it. And then also these are all the sites. This one's fully populated now, right? 2,100 retargeting views. Retargeting ads is meaning that you went to CNN.com, dropped a cookie on your, a pixel it's called, onto your device, and then you went to BBC or People or CBS, and then we retargeted, we pushed that ad to you. That's huge. It's all part and parcel of my marketing package, right? And here's that heat map, right? You get to see where people are looking from. So we get exposure all over the US just for this, on top of the MLS, on top of the Zillow and Redfin and everything else, right? It's just an added value to you as a home seller, and you get to see a little bit deeper dive on it. So there you go. This is the highest, most expensive home sold in Santa Clara County, Sobey Road in Saratoga. Not My Listing sold for $11 million. It took 1 day to go on market. 8 bedrooms, 7 baths, 6,000 square feet, 800 ADU. Yep, built in 2023, and we're not going to go into the digits. You have access to this information on the blog. Okay. 141 pictures, crazy. This is the lowest priced home, sold home in Santa Clara County. It's on Loma Chiquita Road, which is in Los Gatos. 1 bedroom, 2 bath, 900 square feet, built in 1985. Let's take a quick look and see where this is. Yeah, it's going to take you a bit to get there. Let's do a quick maps. But 225,000 or 300,000, right? Why not? I mean, it kind of makes sense. And then directions from 6 to 45-minute drive. There you go. That'll be a fun, but you're also paying fair plan. You also get 10 acres. So there's some value there. It's pliable. That's what the land looks like. It's kind of dug out. It's pretty Spartan there. But there you go. The highest list price to sales price ratio started off at $1 million. Took 7 days to sell at $1.4 million. Again, you're not messing around. You're trying the market. You know, your house isn't going to sell for Summit Road, Los Gatos. This is the lowest list price to sales price ratio, which was 79%, because it took 253. Somebody thought it was worth $3 million, then they went down to 2.5, and then they settle at 2.3. Instead, they could have just listed at $2 million and probably got 2.5 for it. And then here are the numbers right here. And